Hi, I'm Juan Rivera. I have over 20 years of residential and commercial construction experience. I'm the owner of Renaissance Development Group, Inc., a full-service construction company. I know remodeling. Each week, I'll bring to you the tricks, tips, and trends of home improvement. We'll talk to local contractors and industry experts about the latest new trends for your home and remodeling projects. Join us for the next 30 minutes on Remodeling Now. Remodeling Now proudly brought to you by Pepsi-Cola Allen Beverages and LaPlage USA Interiors. Okay, now that we've got these shot in strategic locations, now we can go in between and pin them so those areas don't move as well. All right, very good. Now, when we close this, this should line up. It's very smooth and should line up, and then it gives a tight reveal on each side there. The last piece we're going to put in is at the was what we call our header piece, and that gets put in at this angle here. And this is something we just match up flush to each side, and we're able to shoot it accordingly.
Good.
Okay. Yep. So now the inside should be good to go as well, and that's it for there. Okay. Now that we've got that done, now the next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and install the inside sill.
Yes.
Okay. Whenever we're doing trim and stuff like this, whenever the window is stood up, and we'll show you in a minute when we stand it, you have to be able to finish the inside. So now this is at an angle, and now we've had to make something. If we had it just put in, that's what it would look like. Now we've made this with our beveled edge. So from the inside, when the window's installed, we have a nice flat interior sill that you can put trim, skirt, apron, whatever you want underneath it. And that goes in like this. Okay. Now we're going to have to open up our...
Yeah, we're going to have to back that side out of here.
Okay, now Darrell's going to go ahead and screw from the top down. This is something that we pre-drill and countersink, so the screw will go all the way down, making sure that the interior is nice and flush. Very good. Okay. Okay, and we have a left, right, and a top piece. That's the correct one for the side here.
Yeah, if it was spun, it would have been right, yes.
Okay.
All right, we need to attach the finish gun.
Now we're going to trade out our brad gun for our finish gun. Okay, is that good?
It's good.
Now you can see there was a line here which indicates a reveal that we will go all the way down and match as we run down and nail it.
Good. Good.
I can put one here
Yes.
and here.
No, you got to stay down beyond your, don't want to get into your access panel.
Oh, that's right. That's something we always have to remember whenever you're building things that you don't do on a normal basis, because they're specialty items. You have to remember what it is you're doing, because you do things and you kind of forget about them from time to time, and you don't want to cause headaches for yourself. So this one we're good to go here. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, let me put one right here. Good?
Yep. There you go.
Come off a little bit, right there.
Good.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay. Now we've got our header piece that we're going to be put on as far as our trim's concerned. Now we've made this a little taller in terms of its height. This is roughly, what, 6 inches here?
That's about 5.5 to 6 inches right here.
And we're about 8 inches here.
Yes.
All right. Ready?
Good.
Okay. Okay. Now, a lot of times when you're putting in trim for these windows, this actually slides in as you see it. Of course, less our interior sill. You slide the whole thing in, then siding butts up to the side of these. So what we want to do to make sure these things don't flare, and what I mean by these things, the trim, sometimes they're up and down, they look like that, whatever. We go ahead and we pilot a drill hole out, and then we go ahead and secure it. That way this remains nice and flush. Very good. And the same thing on this side over here. And then the same thing at the bottom. We've already got some pre-piloted holes. So this one on this ear doesn't break, and it attaches to the trim. Beautiful. And we got one more on the other side. One of the last things we have left to do are to put in the access panel doors. Small, but yet a door. It's what I explained to you before that goes right here. So Darrell's going to line his up, and he's going to install it over there and screw those in. Very good. All right, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. And that should be you right there.
That's it.
Okay, now let's go ahead and stand this up, and the last thing to do will be to install the interior trim. We have a nice little set we're going to do with plinth blocks, fluted casing and rosettes. Very simple, and we'll wrap this thing up. So let's stand it up here. And right there is good. Now, let's make sure this all works fine and dandy. So now, we would raise this up. It goes up to the top nice and fine. Everything looks in order. Not too loose, not too much play. And when we set it in place, it's all very good. There will be a window lock that would go here, and that would lock this in place so it doesn't move otherwise. And we have a nice finished sill from the inside. So let's go ahead and put the trim on and wrap this project up.
Sounds great.
After the break, join us and we'll show you how to install fluted casing with rosettes and plinth blocks. Okay, if you're just joining us, we're getting ready to wrap up this project for this week's episode of Remodeling Now. And what we're doing is we're going to install fluted casing. Fluted casing looks like this. It comes with a plinth block and a rosette, which we'll show you in a second. You have a rounded edge or you have a flat edge. And for our application today, we've decided to go ahead and install this side. This is called your plinth block. It goes at the bottom, and then we have a rosette that goes up the top. It's a three-stage process to install. Very easy though. We've got a combination square here to give us our reveal. That way we're consistent all around our frame here, and Darrell's going to go ahead and show us how to do that. So you've already locked that in, Darrell?
Yes, I have.
And he's just going to go and mark about every foot or so. That way we make sure that we have the same reveal as we go around. Okay, and another way to do this, let me show you something here. Another way to do this is you can take and do this. That way it stays the same all the way down as well. Now there's many ways to do this. There's not one right way, one wrong way. It's just different people do it different ways. This is the way I was taught. I like to have a consistent line that goes all the way down. That way there's never any problems as far as being able to be in and out or whatever the case may be. You know exactly what your line is. Now I'm a little short for the top. You gonna handle that one?
I got it. Got a hand on that?
Yeah, I got this here. All right, now that Darrell's got this installed, in terms of our gauge lines, we're gonna go ahead and install our plinth blocks on both sides. And with that, we can just use a standard pneumatic nail gun using 2-inch nails. Don't let me know if I need to go down with this or not.
Down just a little bit. That's good right there.
Okay, very good. Let me give you the other one for the other side.
Thank you.
Now you want to go and get your measurements and cut your casing?
We get the measurement where the plinth block goes, where the rosette goes.
Okay. Now, let me go ahead and get this. Let's carry our mark all the way through here for our where our rosette's going to be. And the same thing for up top here. Okay. Now, we know that our casing, we're going to come in just a hair on that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you want to grab that plinth block? And that's where you need to be. And we'll go ahead and take our lines and bring them through over here as well. Got that there?
Gotcha.
Okay. And we'll do the same thing right here. Okay.
All right.
Let's stick this right there.
Stop.
Should be right about there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now you ready to go ahead and cut your lengths to that line? What Darrell's going to do now is measure from the top of the plinth block to that line, install that.
We have 70 and 9/16.
Okay. Now what Darrell just did was he went ahead and clipped the end of this off for a reason. And the reason being is that sometimes these go at an angle. So we go ahead and cut them square. That way we know that they're at a 90-degree angle. Now with casing, sometimes you have to be careful in using a full head trim nail that you might split it. So we want to use a brad nailer on this. It's a good securing, it secures it well itself, but it's not big nail so it doesn't split it. Now remember, you're going to have your reveal off, all the, it's going to be off like that. Very good.
That's good right there, Juan.
All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and push out the Brad going to put the trim nailer back on because the plinth block is a little thicker, so we need a bigger nail for that. So Darrell's going to center that over the top of that, which should be very close to that mark that we had to begin with. It may be off a little, but that's fine. That's good. Beautiful. And then we'll put the same on the other side. Okay. Now he'll take and cut or do a measurement across, cut our header stock, and that wraps up the interior of a trim on this particular window.
We got 34 1/8.
34 1/8. There you go.
Thank you.
We're just putting some blocks down here that we normally wouldn't do because, of course, you have drywall and things that would normally be at this point, but we're trying to give you the look of a finished product. So we want to make sure that we have everything accordingly with that. Okay, now let me change back out to the brad nailer. Look like your hair long.
Just the hair long.
Okay, let's go ahead and get that cut. That way we're good to go. It's better to measure twice. And then cut once, as they say, but sometimes it's better to be too long than too short. Okay, let me get that there. And make sure you're measured in between and measure your...
I've got my reveal.
No, you're got to raise it up a little bit, make sure you're even. You're not going to use that line. There you go. Very good. Inch from the end. The other thing, whenever you're dealing with pneumatic nailers and stuff, you want to be careful not to go to the end of the wood because a lot of times you'll also split it. So you want to be very careful about that. We try to stay about an inch or so from that without concern there. Okay, now that would go back like that, and we are good to go. All right, so now we've got a finished interior trim. This would have drywall and things like that behind it. But this just gives you an idea of what this type of window would look out, what it would look like being trimmed out and everything. This concludes this episode of Remodeling Now. If you have any questions or concerns or comments regarding what you've seen regarding this episode, we'd be glad to hear from you. Don't hesitate to call us at 228-938-1782 or look us up on the web at www.remodelingnow.net. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Remodeling Now.